I'm Kayla Barnes-Lentz, the most measured woman. I've also been studying female longevity for over a decade. I release my labs and my protocols, but today we're going to be talking about 4 at-home biomarkers for women specifically. So come along. The first at-home biomarker that I want to talk about is actually done with urine. So I've been measuring my daily hormones in this urine cup for about the last 90 days, just to get a deep understanding. So this is done with a mirror. They have these new wands. So this actually measures FSH, which I measure on day 3. It measures LH, measures EG3, which is an estrogen metabolite, and PDG, which is a progesterone metabolite. So what do I use this for? Well, first of all, if you're having any irregular cycles, this can actually give you an indication of how your hormones are functioning. Also, if you believe you're not ovulating, this can be really helpful to confirm if you are ovulating. A lot of women will use this test for like fertility, but I'm just using it to get a deep understanding of how my hormones are working at any given phase. We know that estrogen starts low in the follicular, starts to rise, continues to rise. Progesterone will increase at the later stages or in the luteal, but there's so many things that can be going on with our hormones. Number one, we're not getting the correct information as to when we test what hormones. So testing estrogen in the follicular phase might be ideal, while testing progesterone in the luteal phase is ideal, but we don't always have the time to go to the lab. Now, I will say that this is not a perfect measurement. So I have done a mirror test and I've had a blood test done for my hormones on the exact same day, and the numbers are different. These are testing metabolites, whereas a blood biochemistry marker is going to be actually looking at the solid number of estrogen, progesterone, FH, LH, whatever it may be that you're looking at. So love these. Not necessary, could potentially cause too much anxiety if you don't want to know or you don't have any reason to know. But if you have irregular cycles in any way, maybe you're in perimenopause and want to know what's happening with your hormones, I find these really helpful. And yeah, for me, I always want more data. So it's been really fun to get an idea of what's going on every single day of my cycle. And I won't be doing this forever, just wanted to do a little bit of an experiment on myself, and then I'll be sharing a full video on that. So that's one thing. The next thing that I want to talk about is this Withings body composition scale. Okay, so this is the body composition scale by Withings. So this is great. I do this at least once a week, but I want to explain to you why it's so important. So today I got on the scale this morning. I'm going to show you my data, and my weight is about the same that it has been for the last month or so. My weight right now is 129.8. So this is why it's so important. So if my weight has been stable, let's say for the past few months, then I would have never known without this scale that my muscle mass is increasing. So right now my muscle mass is 83.6%. My body fat is 12.0%. But you see that there's been a massive change in my body composition. If I only looked at the scale and didn't have this deeper data, then I would have no encouragement that I am training harder and that I'm losing fat. I would just think that I was staying stable, right? That's not encouraging and it's not super helpful. So exciting for me. So I definitely lost a little bit of muscle mass when we moved into this house because I only had little tiny weights. But now we are starting to get all of our gym equipment. I have much heavier weights. I'm able to add more load to my workouts. So we see that my muscle mass has increased from my last measurement by 2.1%, and my fat mass has decreased. So this is why a body composition or bioimpedance scale is so important. I'm super encouraged by this data, really know what I'm doing is working. But it also has other important information. Okay, so the next thing that is really important to show is it actually shows you what's going on with your arms, your legs, and your torso. My torso is one of my strongest, so my new programming is going to be focusing a lot on legs and on arms. It's kind of fun too that it will actually show you where you're at in terms of fat and muscle mass for other Withings user who share your approximate age and BMI. So we're in the lowest there. It also has a measurement of visceral fat. So that's the more dangerous fat around our organs. I'm in the healthy range at, like less than 1. We have lean mass, which we want to be looking at. also bone mass. So we see that my bone mass has actually increased a little bit here. So it was at 4.4%, now it's at 4.5, now that I've been loading the bone more. So love that we can see that this stuff is actually working, shows water mass, but I think an at-home bioimpedance scale is a game changer. A few other biomarkers that are at-home biomarkers for women is grip strength. So grip strength is a proxy for overall strength. Before we got these like fun tests, like biological age tests, grip strength and things like VO2 max and gait speed were the gold standards, and I believe still are the gold standards for healthy aging. So really simple, you just put in your age there, you hit start. So literally really simple, you just squeeze this with all of your might. You can do both hands and get your grip strength. So that's a great one. Another really important biomarker, and I haven't found any reasonably cost devices until this one. So this is an at-home VO2 max measurement. So this is a company called Calibri. This is new for me, so I'm still working through this, really just doing multiple measurements to see what my VO2 max truly is. As soon as I figure that out, I will let you guys know. Also want to compare it against some other data of in-lab testing VO2 max, but super excited for this. Their new reportings that are launching in about a week are super comprehensive, so can't wait to share mine, but this is about $500 or so, and that's really unheard of for VO2 max testing, so excited to do more with this. And truthfully, those would be my top 4 biomarkers, but I'm going to throw in one more. So I've been doing at-home blood pressure testing for quite some time, but this is a new device that gives you a little bit of an in-depth markers, not just diastolic and systolic, which obviously we want to keep under 180/20. So this is actually going to give you central blood pressure. It's going to give like more heart metrics, so heart rate, my blood pressure 99/65. That's oxygen saturation. Then we have arterial stiffness, so that my augmentation pressure is actually below range, which is great. So it means the arteries are super flexible. Then we have brain. These different markers impact the brain, so there's some of the same, but I really have enjoyed using this device. So if you don't want to get this device, which does cost a couple $100s, then you could also just do a standard Omron cuff. I think this is about $30 on Amazon. And then just one other little thing. This again is not what I would say is a core marker for a woman, but this is lung health. So you can actually measure your lung health with just breathing in really hard with this device. So those are my top 4 at-home biomarkers, and I'm gonna rank them real fast for you. So I would say a bioimpedance scale, so you know your body composition, fat and muscle mass, bone density, and you can be encouraged from the work that you're putting in. The second one I think is hormone testing, if you are interested in that at all, if you're in any of the phases that I mentioned, or just want to have a better understanding of your hormones and your cycle. The third would be the VO2 max testing. We know it is definitely a holy grail biomarker for women. If you want, you could also do the walking test. We can include a link in there. Could give you some idea, but obviously something like this device is going to be way more accurate. And the fourth is the grip strength. I would actually maybe put the grip strength, just because it's easier and more affordable, above the VO2 max training, because again, it's about $30 online, but going to give you a good indication of how strong you are. So if you enjoyed this video, I would love a like, comment, subscribe, share, and let me know what other videos you want to see in the comments.